A rivalry between two drivers is often seen as a good thing. It's what makes sports exciting after all. But Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc's relationship is a bit different. The pair have been rivals on the track since day one, having met at their first car race together when they were just 9 years old. And while some of the animosity between them has gradually disappeared over time, Leclerc told Autosport that things weren't always so friendly between them, saying, "We used to hate each other because we were fighting for the same thing." Hello F1 fans and welcome back to your non-stop racers channel, The Race Pace. Without further ado, let's begin. At first sight, Formula 1 drivers Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen do not seem to have much in common, but the Monegasque and the Dutchman share another trait. Both are still very young for a driver at this level. The two are now currently battling for supremacy, with Leclerc leading the way in the championship and Verstappen hot on his heels. They were also teammates at Prema Power Team, now Prema Racing, before embarking on their careers in F1. Even during their time together as juniors in karting, they had some fierce battles which eventually led to them hating each other. But although they no longer fight each other on track yet, as they have now done since 2014, they do have a friendly rivalry that was put aside by time. They went from nemesis to friends who now share a great respect for one another. Their first clash was at this year's Canadian Grand Prix, when Verstappen passed Leclerc off turn 2. As Verstappen moved to the outside line to complete the pass, he hit Leclerc's right rear tire and damaged his own front wing. Leclerc then chased Verstappen through the pit stops and outbraked him into turn 1. Verstappen gave him plenty of room, but Leclerc locked up his front tires and went off track, rejoining behind Verstappen, who went on to score a podium finish. The young drivers Leclerc and Verstappen have had quite an intense rivalry, which might just explode in our faces this season. But the two drivers were teammates at Monegasque karting team, Kart 1 Racing, having joined them in 2013. The pair competed against each other for the first time at the 2013 European KF Junior Championship, where they finished second and third respectively. This success was repeated at the World Championship in KF Junior category, where they finished first and second in the overall classification. Since 2012, Verstappen has been racing in single-seater racing cars. In 2015, he competed in the FIA European Formula 3 Championship, where he achieved 3 victories, 7 podiums and 6 poles. Verstappen became the first Dutch driver to win a major F1 championship title since Jack Brabham won the Drivers' Championship title in. Later on that year, he made his debut with Scuderia Toro Rosso at the age of 17 years and 166 days, becoming the youngest Formula 1 driver to start a Grand Prix at the time of his debut for Red Bull Racing in Spain. Verstappen was 168 days younger than Fernando Alonso had been when he made his debut at the 2003 Australian Grand Prix. He competed in 19 Grands Prix for Red Bull Racing between and achieving a best result of 4th place at both the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix and the 2016 Brazilian Grand Prix. He returned to Toro Rosso ahead of 2017 season and is set to continue with them in 2018 season. This journey shaped Max's career. Most observers see Verstappen as an aggressive driver who has never been one to hold back when he thinks he can get ahead, while Leclerc is a more calculating driver with more patience than his Red Bull rival. Since he has been with Red Bull since 2016, Leclerc joined the team in 2019 after winning 4 Formula 2 championships. Then, throughout their years at Red Bull, they have jostled for position on the track and occasionally shared mutual admiration off it. In 2014, the rivalry intensified as they competed for top honors in KF Rodak's senior category. However, a season-long battle between the two ended with Verstappen edging ahead of Leclerc by 1 point to win the championship. Leclerc then moved up to KF category, with Verstappen deciding to race in KZ category for another season. The duo continued to battle it out on track and managed to finish first and second respectively in the European KF Championship. As drivers, we had a different view on how to progress, said Leclerc in an interview with Autosport. Max was more like, "I need to impress everyone now. I was just doing my thing." He continued, "We didn't really have a lot of respect for each other's driving. We hated each other, but that's normal at that age." The pair have represented their respective nations at many levels throughout their careers, including representing Monaco and Holland in karting, as well as Leclerc making appearances for the Motopark team in German F4, where Verstappen raced 1 year before him. The team at developer Slightly Mad Studios is back for another season of racing in Project Cars 2, and it's bringing with it an A-list cast of drivers to compete for the 2017 World Touring Car Cup, WTCR. Among the drivers announced in a press release from Slightly Mad this morning are 2 young racers who each have a unique story. Each of these racers has made his mark on the racing world in different ways. In the case of champion Verstappen, the 17-year-old Dutchman was plucked from karts and given his debut as Formula One's youngest ever driver in 2015. Ottinger, on the other hand, had to wait until he was 26 to get his first taste of open-wheel racing after spending several years behind the wheel of GT cars and touring cars. 1 year older than Verstappen at 18 years old, Ottinger also spent time in karts before moving up through open-wheel racing, making his name known by winning European F3 Open and German F3 titles before joining WTCC in 2014. In 2016, he managed a 5th-place finish overall, but failed to win any races. However, his performance was still. The Red Bull racing family is no stranger to success and controversy, but it's fair to say that 2016 has been a particularly hectic year for its 2 most prominent names. Subsequently, the world of international motorsport has seen more than its fair share of headlines featuring both Max Verstappen and his then teammate Daniel Ricciardo in recent months. But few would have predicted that their on-track rivalry would ultimately lead to off-track friendship. Ricciardo too and Verstappen first drove together as karting teammates in 2006, before competing against each other in Formula Renault 2.0 2010, Formula 3 2011, and Formula Renault 3.5 2012. The pair may have been competitors throughout their junior careers, but the evident respect they had for one another stood out through the various battles they shared on track. They even went so far as to swear an oath at the end of their karting years that whoever won a race between them first would pick up the pizza tab for everyone else, a promise that was eventually fulfilled when Ricciardo won at Spa-Francorchamps. At the top tier of motorsport, both men have been in F1 for just over a year, and both have shone in their own right. But as a duo, they've been able to complement one another's strengths and weaknesses in startling ways. Verstappen has been touted as a racing prodigy ever since his go-karting career saw him become the youngest driver to win at international level in 2008. The Dutchman won numerous titles before graduating to European F3, where he battled with future Red Bull teammate Carlos Sainz-Jr. for the championship. Verstappen was subsequently promoted to Toro Rosso for 2015 as a 17-year-old and famously won on his debut at the age of just 18 years, becoming the youngest ever race winner until Lewis Hamilton took that record from him. It seemed only a matter of time before he would replace Daniel Kvyat at Red Bull Racing and make his first appearance at the very pinnacle of motorsport. But then came an incident at the start of 2016 that changed everything. The history of Formula One is filled with legendary rivalries: Senna versus Prost, Mansell versus Senna, Hamilton versus Rosberg, but none have been as interesting, unpredictable, or complex as the current one between Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen. The 2 young drivers are currently fighting for the title of the youngest F1 champion in history, and they've had their fair share of flashpoints throughout their season together. But now that they're both at Ferrari and Red Bull respectively, the duo has a new source of tension. Who will be the first to clinch their first title? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to hit the like and subscription button to get notified when a new video is out. Thanks for watching, guys, and bye for now. See you in the next video.